Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Yeah, man, the word was Neil had waited for him in the stairway, man. He came up, man. Neil approached him about, you know, trying to get that Bethlehem for him. He said something. Next thing you know, he swung on Neil. Boom, bang. They get the rumbling. They tussling in the hallway, you know what I'm saying? They getting it in, to the best of my understanding, you know. And like I say, Teaspoon was a big dude. They say he was rumbling. I mean, it was like a straight up, you know, good rumble. They was getting it in. And then they say, man, next thing you know, Neil caught him. Bam, bam, and dropped him. When he dropped him, got on top of him, gave him the business, man. Beat him down, stomped him, kicked him and everything. And just, you know, he was out. He incapacitated. So dudes pull Neil up off of him and tell him, let's go, man. Go ahead. You got him. Boom. Neil come on upstairs. That's when he come in. That's why Teaspoon took a little while to come in. Dudes was down there getting him together, got him up, got himself together. When something like that go down, the main thing is now you done got away with it when the police ain't seen it. So now it's just a matter, you know, if somebody gonna have to go to medical or somebody gonna tell. You know, in this situation like that, ain't nobody gonna tell because both of these dudes, you know, they known, both of them got a little reputation. So, you know, if you tell, you're gonna kill your whole reputation or whatever, you know, especially when you involve the police. You ain't trying to involve the police in nothing. So, you know, it's man to man, mano and mano, best man win. You know, when the Bethlehem's involved, they went, you know, toe to toe. So Neil got out on him, you know. So boom, Neil went to his cell and told him, you know, if you come out there, man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna beat you to death. You come out there, you trying to do something, you trying to sneak me or anything like that, I'm gonna end you, you know. So Teaspoon posted told him, man, that's it, man. You got it, you won, that's over with, man. This is over, ain't nothing else to talk about. You know, so Neil like, boom, go ahead on about his business and mind his business. So man, everybody in the pod know what went on. Everybody in there is aware of what's going on. And Teaspoon, next thing you know, this dude won't come out the cell. Now, at first, you would normally think somebody ain't coming out the cell because, like I said, when you get in a fight like that and you bruised up, you bust up, the police see you, they going to start questioning you. You don't give them the right answer, they going to lock you up or you're going on an investigation. So that's what everybody really think he laid in the cell for. I mean, when I say coming out for nothing, he ain't coming out for nothing. You know, for like 3-4 days, man, ain't come out the cell at all. You know, I mean, he got enough food in there to last him. You know, he got a store box. So he ain't come out, you know, for about a whole week, man. Everybody else started running the poker games. They picked right on up, kept on going, you know. Like they say, one monkey don't stop no show. And, you know, dudes gonna gamble, you know, any way they can, by hook or by crook, they gonna find a way to gamble if it ain't nothing but betting on the air. You know what I'm saying? So they started poker games up and, you know, kept on going. So, you know, a week go by, man, and everybody thinking, like I said, well, he probably just healing up because he don't want to get caught. But then, next thing you know, 2 weeks go by, man. This man ain't came out the cell. I think he surfaced like once or twice. Came out there, man, with his little towel on, his little towel, washcloth across his shoulder, went on to the shower, got in the shower, went back to his cell. I think he ended up coming out again one time because during this time, when you get mail, they call you to the booth. You get your mail. He came out, went to the booth, got the mail, went on back in the cell. Now, he was in the cell with an old dude, old white dude, you know, and a lot of times dudes like him, they'll get in the cell with somebody like that because they can run everything. They got whole control of the cell, total control. Ain't nobody asking no questions. The white dude probably was in there. He probably let him eat, feed him, and just tell him to stay on out the way. He ain't gonna say nothing. He ain't gonna bother him, and he gonna mind his business, you know. So dudes like to be in the cell like that because with the lifestyle that they living and the things that they doing, if they get in there with somebody else, you know, is eventually going to lead into some type of problems because they're going to want to be dominant in the cell. They're going to want to control the cell and control it, you know, the ins and outs of the cell, everything going on in there. So they'll try to get in there with an older person or a weak person where they can just dominate the cell. He fit that bill for sure because that was the only reason he got this old white dude in. This old white dude don't do nothing, don't bother nobody, go to eat, come back, sit out in the park and read books. So that's the perfect cellmate for him. So like I say, man, a couple of weeks go by, man, this dude ain't even came out the cell. So Neil, I guess, started getting a little paranoid or whatever. So Neil started going there to the cell pressing. knocking on the door, telling me something, what's up, man? You ain't been up out here. I mean, what's up? You plotting, you trying to do something? Teaspoon in the same mode. No, brother, I told you that's old, man. We ain't got to talk about that no more. I ain't even thinking about it no more. You did your thing, that's it. So he said, all right, man, I'm just letting you know, bro, I'm on point. I ain't going to sleep. You can't trick me. You can't rock me to sleep or nothing like that. I'm just letting you know. Ain't nothing about that, brother. It's over. Neil go on about his business. So all the time, like I say, Neil paranoid, which he should be, because like I say, in the penitentiary, you never know. Somebody can tell you all right today, and then the next day or the next week or the next month, they come up behind you, put that Bethlehem in your back, man, So you got to stay on point in there. It's a dangerous game. It's a dangerous environment. And, all players should be taken seriously. No matter who they are, you should be taken seriously, especially when it done got physical. When you done put your hands on somebody, and especially you done drew blood, the whole, pod know by now, probably the whole compound. So somebody's reputation is at stake. You don't never know what they might do. They may not want to do nothing, but they may have to do something just because of their reputation. They may not want to do nothing, but they may have to do something because other people put a battery in their back. I've seen it happen over the years, Oh, man, you got to get him. You can't let that go. You got to, and dudes will do something that they don't really want to do, but they'll feel pressure to do it. You know what I'm saying? So Neil was on point, though, man. Neil went back into his routine. He working out like a dog, every day was what he usually did. But, it seemed like he was working out even harder because he didn't know what was to come. So at the same time, man, I think another week went by, man. I'm not even exaggerating. I think Teaspoon ain't come out that cell for almost a month. He ain't even come out. Didn't even show his face. Didn't even surface or nothing. So everything else going on as usual. Everything else is just keep on moving. That's what he want to do. So the next thing you know, man, after about a month go by, you see the old man, the old seller, man, he packing up his stuff, man. They done bought them bags and stuff around there. He packing up his stuff. He leaving. Nobody know if he getting moved to another block or whether he going to jail. But bottom line is he getting up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Packed up all his stuff. Boom, police come, grab his stuff, move him, take him wherever he going. So now Teaspoon in the cell by himself, right? So that was a kind of strange thing because that's where he had been in the cell with the whole time he was in there. That was kind of strange to people. So don't nobody really know what's going on. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man, this stuff here, the penitentiary life is just crazy, man. You see things in there that you might not never see again in your life. You'll see things in there that will puzzle you so much that you just can't even comprehend it. It's just a wild situation. So, like I say, after the dude leave up out there, man, maybe about a week later, the next thing you know, man, Teaspoon come up out the cell, going to the shower. But when he come out the cell going to the shower, he literally got on a pair of cut off jeans, state jeans. He done cut them off real small, like as in Daisy Dukes. And he got on a state t-shirt and is tied up in a knot at the waist, the way women wear their shirt. And he came out the cell switching, went to the shower, got in the shower, came out, went back in his cell and got the door closed. And when I tell you everybody in there is like, that's exactly how I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Are you seeing what you think you're seeing? This is just crazy. I'm like, man, what in the world? This big old mustard dude, and he dressed more or less like a woman. You know what I'm saying? So I can remember I pulled up on check. I'm like, man, did you see Teaspoon? He was like, what? And I said, nah. He said, nah. He said, what? I said, man, the man came out there, man, looking like a broad, man. Man got on Daisy Duke's shirt. He said, man, I ain't surprised, man. I known him for a minute. I done seen it before. I say, what? He said, yeah, man, I'm trying to tell you, he be going in modes, man. He be this today, and then he be that tomorrow, and then he be this next year, and then he be that next year. I say, man, so you mean to tell me the dude gay, man? He said, man, he gay and he everything else. He a gangster, he a killer, he gay, he a con artist. I say, what in the world, man? My celly T-Bone, he was going crazy. He said, man, all this stuff, he gonna try to press me, and here it is, this dude a all-out boy, man, he's a boy, and he done just got whooped. He said, man, I feel like I should have took off on him. I'm like, man, Man, I'm like in awe, man, because I had at this point in time, of course, you done seen, gay people in there, you done seen a whole lot of them, but I hadn't seen nobody do what he was doing, look the way he looked, act the way he was acting, and then that I hadn't seen that. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't even seen it. So it was mind-boggling to me that I was like, man, this is some crazy stuff right here. And he stayed in the cell. He didn't come back out. He went back in to staying in the cell. But he came out. I don't know if that was a warning. He was letting people know what was to come. That's how he was carrying it now. I didn't know what was going on. I was just watching and just like everybody else to see what his next move was going to be. So he stayed in the cell, man, like I say, about another week. And then the next thing you know, boom, they bust in the door, open his door, call him to the booth. He come out there, go to the booth. Lady say something to him or whatever. He go on back in the cell, get his door closed. I guess, what I'm saying, people say the lady told him, you got your cell partner coming. So boom, he in there, he wait about an hour later, cell partner come. Man, the cell partner come is like a 6'6" gay dude, right? And he moves straight in the cell with Teaspoon. Now, when he go to open the door, the way Teaspoon embrace him, they hug and everything and talk and help him get his bag, take the bags all in the cell. They know each other. So this probably was already, pre-planned, and he knew that, the dude was coming to the cell. That's why he done more or less made the old white dude move out the cell. You see what I'm saying? So he already knew what he was doing, and he already getting prepared for it. So he getting ready to get into whatever they getting into in there with this dude, so he had to get rid of the old white dude. Man, I'm just like, this is right here, man, penitentiary, man. Penitentiary, man. Like I told y'all, I'm new. I'm still in the early years of my bit. So I'm in awe, man. I'm like, this is just a crazy life right here, man. This is a crazy life. This is off the chain, man. I just can't even process that type of stuff. How you go from this to this? How you go from pressing people and walking around and going on the weight pad, lifting all this weight, and he was strong too, make no mistake about it. Super strong and big. I'm talking about big. And you go from all of that, running poker games, smacking, he done smack dudes in the pot, smacking dudes about money, pulling the Bethlehem out, all of that, and now you walking around here, with your shirt tied up at the waist and some booty shorts on, and you got some people moving in your cell. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, this is just crazy, But like I say, that's exactly what was going on. And I'm sitting here, I'm watching all of this unfold. So, boom, the dude get in the cell, they staying there for a while, whatever, they getting their stuff all together. Later on that night, the dude come out, the tall boy, he come out, he go take a shower, he walk around in the pod. When he go back in there, get his stuff together, he come out, he walk around in the pod, speaking to people that he know. People know him too. They hollering at each other, whatever. He just kicking it and talking. I holler at Chuck. Chuck tell me, yeah, that's he's a boy. You know what I'm saying? But he tall is on the way. He actually goes out there and play basketball. He out there playing ball and dominating, dunking on people and everything. But he, you know what I'm saying? He gay as all outdoors. You see what I'm saying? So he be in the type of relationships with people like Teaspoon, whatever they doing, and what they call that in there, they call that flip-flopping. They be doing whatever they be doing to each other. You know what I'm saying? But they in a mutual understanding, a mutual relationship. So, like I say, by me meeting Teaspoon the first way I met him and seeing him the way I see him, this stuff still just won't even processing with me. I'm just looking at this like this is like the Wizard of Oz stuff. This stuff is crazy. This stuff is crazy right here. So like I say, I'm watching this stuff unfold, and then man, like I say, after about a couple of weeks, Teaspoon, he still won't come out the cell. Then he started coming out the cell. And when he started coming out the cell, even the tall dude that was gay, he won't, you could look at him and probably tell he was gay, you know what I'm saying, by the way he talk and the way he walk and stuff, but he won't dressing like with no tight stuff on or wearing no type of makeup or all that fake makeup that they make. He won't doing none of that. But you could, like I say, basically could tell, it ain't like he was trying to hide it. You could tell, but he didn't wear no tight stuff or nothing like that, like act real feminine. Man, Teaspoon started coming up out that cell. He had on super tight pants, tying his shirt up at the waist. He already talked soft anyway. Now he started talking even more softer and more girly. And man, I was looking at him, man, and I was like, man, I ain't never seen that like this in my life. I ain't never seen that like this in my life because it didn't even seem like the same person. It did not even seem like the same person. It literally did not seem like the same person to me, man. I didn't even know whether to speak to him when he spoke to me or not. I just ain't know what to do. I was like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because it just blew my mind, you know. But like I say, now this is what he was doing. He went from that to coming out in the pod till he just, boom, eventually started going outside. Him and the boy, they walk together, walk the yard together, you know, kick it together, go eat together. And now everybody on the compound, you know, looking at him like, is that Teaspoon? Yeah, that's Teaspoon, man. That's just, it's just crazy. Yeah, going on, man. He just said, come all the way out the closet and he just walking around now just like full-blown girl with the other people, you know, and everybody's like talking about it, you know, his little talk on the compound about it, man. You know, y'all see Teaspoon, y'all see Teaspoon. Some people were surprised, some people won't. You know, most dudes that was locked up a long time that already knew him, I guess they had seen it before. I had never seen it, you know, and most dudes around me haven't seen it. So our block man was just, everybody just talking. And, you know, he walking around like, you know, with no shame at all, you know, doing everything that he used to do. He just had stopped gambling and everything, was just spending more time with the peoples. If he went with the peoples, he was in his cell. But when he came out acting like he was acting, switching, and, you know, they go out on the yard and walk the yard, they go eat together, they did everything together. And, you know, as far as the tall boy, he was like, you know, still doing this thing. He go out there, play basketball, come in all sweaty, you know, sit out there, he gamble, he get at the poker table sometime and gamble, you know, get out there, laugh, joke with people or whatever. So it just was a crazy dynamic, man. It was just amazing, man, to see that type of transformation and right in front of your eyes and not really know what's going on and not really understanding it, man. But it just made me know and solidified in my mind. Like I say, you can and you will see anything in the penitentiary, man. And Neil was like, man, Neil was like, man, he was like disgusted, man. He was like disgusted. He just like, man, Neil used to walk by him and everything and say something like call him, you know, the F word, you know what I'm saying, the gay derogatory statement and everything, and be like, man, I can't believe you. You know, you walk around here act like you a gangster. You had the audacity to tell me I'm gonna pay you, man. You know, and Teaspoon wouldn't even say nothing. You know, he'd just say, all right, brother, it's okay. We done with that. We done with that. That's over with. You know, Neil said, man, F you, man. Shut up. Don't even talk to me. Don't even say nothing to me. Don't even let me catch you looking at me. You know, Teaspoon be like, all right, okay, brother, peace, brother, all right. You know, man, but it was just crazy, man. Like I say, penitentiary, man, I don't know which, you know, I guess, you know, you can, psychologists probably couldn't even figure it out. You never know what goes on in a person's mind. You never know what they thinking. You never know what the process is, where they come up with what they come up with, and, you know, do the things they do. You'll drive yourself crazy trying to figure it out, you know. And like I say, I watched it, man, unfold. I didn't understand it. Me and my celly, we sat in there, man. We talked about it, man. We laughed about it, man. We was in awe about it, man. We was in state of confusion about it. But, you know, like I say, it's a teaching moment. You know, you learning what goes on in penitentiary. You learning how people succumb to pressure. You learning how people cope with pressure. You learning how people, you know, respond to pressure. You know, and like I say, at the time he had been locked up a minute. I can't say exactly how long, but obviously this wasn't new to him. This was something that he had did before. This was something that other people had known him for before. We just didn't know it because we was new, you know. So like I say, man, the penitentiary don't stop. Everything keep on going, man. Everybody just start eventually falling into, you know, their own things, man. And more things was happening, more things was transpiring. So people just forget about it and start looking at him like, you know, that's just who he is. You know, other things is going on, man. You know, you can't focus on what somebody else got going on and not pay attention to what's going on around you because the penitentiary's still moving. Penitentiary's still going. People still getting in beefs. People still, you know, pulling that Bethlehem out and going to war. People still, you know, getting knocked out in the pod. And, you know, back in this time, when I'm on Augusta, back then you talking about, you know, the late 80s, early 90s, late 80s, right in between that window right there. The beginning of the 90s, the end of the 80s. Man, they won't no cameras or nothing in there. You know, won't no cameras or nothing in the block. So dudes was getting savage, man. Dudes be getting beat up. Dudes be getting stabbed. Dudes be getting their heads split open and just laid over there in the corner, busted up, bleeding and everything until a police or something come in and see them. And then whoop, hit the little alarm and everybody go in and whoop, whoop, whoop. And then they gonna try to find out who did what. And, ain't nobody talking back then. If you talk, you got to walk. You know what I'm saying? If you talk, you got to take that walk, go on to jail, man, because if not, somebody gonna do something to you. That's how it was when I first got in the penitentiary. Now, over the years, all that transpired and telling became a fad, But now, back then, there wasn't nobody going for that. So people was getting, if you couldn't fend for yourself or you couldn't take care of yourself, man, you was in the jungle, man. And being in the jungle and you a sheep, you gonna get ate alive, man. You gonna get ate alive. So you had to be willing to put some work in, and you had to be willing to hurt somebody on demand if you were gonna stay out on that yard, if you was gonna survive out on that yard, if you was gonna thrive out there on that yard, and especially if you was into any type of, extracurricular activities, gambling, drinking, getting high, playing basketball, playing softball, if anything where you gonna have to mingle with other people, yeah, you had to be prepared to go to war, because no matter what you was doing, somebody gonna always have a problem with what you doing, because it might get in the way with what they feel like they doing. If you got to use the phone, people might got to beef over the phone. You got to, take a shower. Other people feel like they in front of you in the shower. You taking too long in the shower. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff was going on, man. It was like a powder keg of confusion. You line up to go out to eat. You line up to go out for rec, and somebody bump into you. Then you in a beef. You in a scrap. Somebody might want to go get to Bethlehem and deal with you that way opposed to fighting you. Somebody might take a L. You might get to rumbling with somebody, they might take a L, they might lose, and then they might come up on you later on, or either a week later or a couple of days later, and put the Bethlehem in you because they can't take that L. You see what I'm saying? They might lose on the basketball court and you talking smack to them. They might come in and they might steal off on you, so you rumbling because you ain't paying attention to what's going on. Every little thing in the penitentiary is potential big thing, potential danger, potential you losing your life, potential of you taking someone else's life because of the environment. And I believe, now looking back in retrospect, it was designed that way. You know what I'm saying? It was designed that way because if people weren't doing all these things that I just forementioned, then the COs wouldn't even have a job. They wouldn't have nothing to do. The penitentiary would run itself. You see what I'm saying? But they had to have these things happening to be able to oversee something, to be able to justify, overseeing what they have to oversee it, justify their position. But it was going down back in them days, man. It was going down, but like I said, it was setting my tone for what was to come. It was also setting my philosophy about how I was going to do mine. Because like I said, I'm seeing all this madness, I'm witnessing all this madness, and all of that is processing in my brain. So, that's why you have to have the mentality that I ended up having, man, which is zero tolerance for any foolishness, and especially when it came to me, not gonna let nobody do nothing to me, not gonna let nobody take nothing from me, not gonna let nobody disrespect me, period. You know what I'm saying? And it won't no straddling the fence with that. You couldn't be one way. No, you had to be one way all the time, because whatever you present, whatever you project, whatever your image is, that's what you're going to have to uphold at all times, 100%. You see what I'm saying? So, like I say, when you dealing with a dude like Teaspoon, man, like I say, he was a chameleon. He was a chameleon, man. I mean, he literally was a chameleon, man. That man actually transformed in right in my eyesight. I went from seeing a gangster, big muscle bodybuilder, to seeing a dude that was now dressing like a woman and acting like a woman and switching and walking around with shirts tied all up at his waist or whatnot, and talking and smacking his lips and all that. Man, it just was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So like I say, you start to understand where you at and what's going on when you start seeing stuff like that. And I'm quite sure it was going on way before I got in the penitentiary. It just was new to me. I just hadn't seen it at the time. So like I say, man, everything kept going on, doing what it was doing, and every now and then you start hearing, Teaspoon and the boy in there fighting. They get to rumbling with each other. They get to arguing about stuff, about you out the cell too long, or where you going, or where you been, just like a regular couple. just like a regular couple. They start going through all types of changes, just like a regular couple, and they start going through stuff, and you will see them. And then they might be in the cell, and they might be tussling and wrestling and fighting and all of this, and then the next thing you know, they stay in the cell together, don't even come out for about a week. You know, maybe both of them busted up. Maybe both of them got bruises. Maybe they done hurt each other in there, but they won't even come out because they don't, been in there testing. But we know in the block because we can hear it. Boom, 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 boom. Shut up. I kill you in here. Wah, wah, wah. All of this stuff going on. Some people know. Some people, they go try to peek in the cell, look in the cell. But normally when something like that going on, people cover up the window. Put something on top of the window so can't nobody see what's going on in there, but you can hear it. You know what I'm saying? And if they get the rumbling and tussling too much, the thing on the window might slide to the side or slide that side, might got a little crack. And then you got some dudes, they so bold, they'll go look up in there and try to see what's going on. Oh, they rumbling in there. Oh, yeah, they getting it in. Man, a teaspoon beating the heck out of us. Oh, no, they beating. All of that be going on. All of that be going on up in there, man. It be like a movie, But the only difference is you actually in the movie. You right there with it. And you just like, man, this is crazy. But this becomes your everyday life, and it's going to take time, and it's going to take years for you to process that and understand that. And then once that happens, it becomes normality to you. Well, now when you hear things like that or see things like that, it doesn't even bother you no more because you've seen it, you know about it, and it's just like regular activity. It's just like when you come into the penitentiary, you ain't used to seeing all of this, people trying to stab somebody or people getting stabbed or people getting their head bust open and getting stomped all out, and where people ain't showing them no mercy and they just laid there just waiting for somebody to discover them, waiting for somebody to find them, so they can get them some medical help. So you ain't used to seeing that stuff out here on the street. I know I wasn't, and I come from D.C. in the city. I've seen a whole lot of violent things, but most of the things I seen, I didn't see it transpire. I seen it in the aftermath, or I seen people might get shot or people might get knocked out or something like that. But to see all of this stuff right here, right where you can't get away from it, you can't go on the other side of town, you can't leave, you can't do nothing, you got to deal with it because now you're a part of it, man, that's a whole different ball game right there, brother. Whole different ball game. That's why I try to tell y'all little young fellas, prison ain't where you want to be if you don't want to live this type of lifestyle, man, because this is your everyday life. Ain't no escaping, ain't no getting away from it. You can try to move from this block to that block, and a lot of people used to do that. A lot of people used to even try to get moved to another prison because whenever prison you own, I can guarantee you this, I learned this over the years too. Whatever prison you own, and you get people that come transfer in and they come on the prison, they gonna tell you they just came from such and such. I just came from Buckingham, or I just came from Powhatan, I just came from Southampton, I just came from Deerwind, or I just came from Brunswick. All these places gonna be better than where you at. You know what I'm saying? At least that's what they're going to tell you. Oh, yeah, it's way better there, man. I don't know why they sent me here. Woo, woo, woo. But then you'll have people who will leave where you at and go another place and tell them that place was better. Oh, yeah, I just left Augusta, man. That joint better than this, man. I wish they wouldn't have never sent me here, da-da-da-da. So you learn that over the years, man. Don't listen to all that chatter what somebody tell you better because all of them going to be the same. You still going to be locked up. You still going to be going through the same rules and regulations. It's still going to be the same foolishness, the same chaos, the same misery, the same violence. It's just going to be in a different spot. Ain't no other prison better than the other prison. They can tell you that all they want to tell you. All of them the same to me. You're locked up, you ain't got your freedom, it's all the same. Ain't nothing gonna change except for your location. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, man, everything was just going on the way it was, man. And then I think, man, Teaspoon and the people, they got into a real big fight one day. And I think Teaspoon got out on a real decent. And I think he was scared to come back in the cell. They was telling him if he came back in the cell, he was going to kill him. He was going to do whatever to him. So he was scared to come back in the cell. And man, like I said, he was a real tall dude too. But you could see when he had actually came out, he had a little shirt ripped all up, got a little blood on it. His little ass swelled up or whatever. He pacing the block, walking all around the block, Every now and then he'll stop at the door. Teaspoon got the door closed. He'll stop at the door, say something to Teaspoon. You'll see him get the arguing or something, and then you might see him jump away like Teaspoon was trying to grab him through the door because on the door this time we had windows, But on the door, it wasn't windows. It was just a slot like a window, you know. But it actually ain't had no glass on it. You could actually stick your hand out, stick your hand in. We used to stick our hand out and hit the door to get the door. So you'll see that, and he'll just walk away. But then you'll hear Spoon say something out there like, "You can't come back in here. You can't come back in here." So he did all that walking and walking. I guess he was trying to get his mind right to decide what he was going to do. Whether he was going to check in, meaning, you know, volunteer to go to PC, protective custody, or whether he was going to try to go back in there. So I guess, you know, as time was winding down, when he was getting ready to come to count or whatever, I guess he, you know, he made the decision to go ahead and try to check in. But you can't check in without giving them some type of justification. And furthermore, you can't check in, go and tell the people that you want to go to jail, and they say why, and you say, "I just don't want to be here no more, and you got bruises all on you, you got blood all on your shirt. So that's more or less like basically confessing and telling them that, you know, you done got into a scrap, whether it be with your seller or not, but whoever you got into a scrap with, you trying to get up out there. So they gonna investigate. You see what I'm saying? So that's what he did. He went to the people, told him he couldn't go back in the cell. He trying to get up out there. You know, he told them whatever he wanted to tell them. People handcuffed him, take him out. They go to his cell. They see Spoon in there. Spoon got some bruises and stuff on him too. They lock Spoon up. You know what I'm saying? So they locked both of them up and they cleared the whole cell out. So now both of them going to jail. And both of them is up out of there, man. They gone, you know what I'm saying? So everybody talking, chattering about what happened, what they think happened, and so on and so forth. And, man, it would not be for probably, man, 9-10 months that I would see Teaspoon again. And when I saw him again, once again, I was in awe. When I saw that man again, that man was suited and booted all the way up, buttoned all the way up tight, and had on a bow tie. And the man was saying, "Assalamu alaikum, my brother."
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.